I am coming to you in the early evening from Darlington, South Carolina. You see behind me the Darlington Raceway. This is the oldest super speedway in all of NASCAR. And being old, it oftentimes shows its age. So over the past few years, the owners of this track have spent a lot of money on upkeep. It's a really interesting question. How much should you spend on a sports facility? Something like the Raceway here. They may have maybe 2 NASCAR events in the course of a year, and to spend as many millions and millions and millions of dollars as the owners of this track spend to keep this track functioning raises a kind of an interesting question. It's a question that sports economists grapple with regularly. Where and how much should you spend in order to upkeep a stadium that's not used all that frequently? Now, this is a private track, so the question's a little bit different than it would be for something like a city asking how much money they should spend. But anytime you're spending money, a question about the opportunity cost has to come up. Would the money being spent on a sports facility be better spent elsewhere? And really, does it actually generate as much economic welfare for a community as estimates say they do? So there was a study that was done about this track that said it brings $65 million a year into the Darlington economy. 65 million may sound like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not all that much. The county GDP for Darlington is over $2 billion, so 65 million is not very much. But one of the things that this track might do for the people of Darlington and the surrounding area is bring a positive externality. It gives them a sense of, despite the rural nature of this county, of being in the big leagues, because they have a NASCAR track, and there's not that many of these things in the country. So, one of the questions when you're dealing with sports stadiums, and when you're running around places like Darlington and you come across one of these, is it worth spending the money? A lot of people say yes, it brings all this money into the economy, and sports economists will tell you those estimates are kind of dicey. But the positive energy and the positive externalities that come with having a stadium might be worth more than the actual dollar amounts. So as you can see, it's starting to get a lot dark here. I better hit the road, and I will see you somewhere else in this country. Keep on running.